Paul McCartney, the legendary Beatle, the genius behind some of the world's most beloved songs. But did you know there's more to him than just incredible music? Beyond the fame, the hits, and the performances, Paul McCartney stands out for his dedication to making the world a better place. One of the most inspiring examples of this is his deep bond with the 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, the spiritual leader of Tibetan Buddhism. Imagine that, a rock star and a spiritual icon, walking hand in their quest for peace and compassion. Isn't it fascinating how different worlds can come together for the greater good? Want to be part of a more compassionate world? Hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey of love and empathy. This friendship between McCartney and the Dalai Lama is a powerful reminder of how music and spirituality, two seemingly separate realms, can unite us. Their connection isn't just a friendship, it's a profound example of what can happen when we transcend our differences for something bigger than ourselves. Despite their different paths, one a musician and the other a spiritual guide, they both share a love for humanity, for compassion, and for peace. In a world that seems increasingly divided, don't we need such symbols of unity more than ever? In 2008, McCartney decided to write a letter to the Dalai Lama, expressing his admiration for the resilience and dedication shown by the Tibetan leader. Imagine the courage it takes to keep fighting for your people, for your culture, for your beliefs, all while maintaining a commitment to nonviolence. McCartney was deeply moved by this, and so are many of us. His letter was not just an exchange of words, it was a genuine expression of his beliefs, one rooted in compassion. The Dalai Lama, too, respects McCartney not just for his music but for his tireless advocacy of kindness and empathy. It's a mutual admiration that transcends cultural and professional boundaries. One particularly touching moment is when Paul McCartney questioned the Dalai Lama about his diet. McCartney, a lifelong vegetarian and a passionate advocate for animal rights, reached out to the Dalai Lama, asking him to consider giving up meat. It takes courage to bring up such a topic, doesn't it? Especially to someone as revered as the Dalai Lama. But McCartney did it out of love for animals and for the idea that compassion should be all-encompassing. And what was even more touching is that the Dalai Lama listened. He explained that he ate meat for health reasons but was influenced by McCartney's plea, leading to significant changes in his diet. This conversation shows us how, even in our differences, we can learn from each other. Isn't that what true friendship is all about, pushing each other toward becoming better versions of ourselves? Compassion and empathy, these values are at the heart of everything McCartney and the Dalai Lama stand for. Paul McCartney has always believed that we can create a better world if we just approach life with more compassion. It's not just about how we treat each other, it's also about how we treat animals and our planet. His Meat-Free Monday campaign is all about encouraging people to make small changes that can have a big impact. The Dalai Lama has long taught about interdependence, that everything is connected. Isn't it amazing how McCartney's activism and the Dalai Lama's teachings align so beautifully? Whether it's promoting vegetarianism or inspiring us to show more kindness, they both remind us of the power of empathy to bring about change. This friendship between McCartney and the Dalai Lama isn't just a beautiful story. It's a symbol of hope. A rock musician and a Buddhist monk, both using their influence to inspire millions to be more compassionate. It makes you wonder, if they can bridge the gap between their worlds to spread love and peace, what's stopping the rest of us? Their relationship is a reminder that art and spirituality, though different in their expressions, are ultimately about the same thing: touching hearts, transforming lives, and making the world a kinder place. McCartney didn't stop at words, he also took action. He lent his voice to the Free Tibet movement, showing his support for the Tibetan people in their struggle for freedom. Imagine the power of a voice like McCartney's, one that has reached millions, being used to raise awareness about a cause that has been overlooked for too long. The struggle for Tibetan freedom is a reminder that peace, freedom, and human rights are not just concepts, they are rights that every individual, every culture, should be able to enjoy. Through concerts, campaigns, and public statements, McCartney has helped keep the Tibetan cause in the spotlight. It's a powerful example of how we can all use our influence, whether big or small, to do good. Art and spirituality, two forces that have the power to heal, to inspire, to transform. Paul McCartney's music has always been filled with messages of love, hope, and unity. Songs like All You Need Is Love and Let It Be aren't just melodies, they're messages that have the power to bring people together. Isn't that what the Dalai Lama's teachings are all about as well? Unity, love, and understanding. Through their respective mediums, both McCartney and the Dalai Lama have sought to make the world a more compassionate place. Together, they show us that no matter where we come from or what our talents are, we all have the potential to make a difference. Their friendship teaches us something profound, that it's not about how different we are, but about how we use our differences to work towards a common goal. The Dalai Lama often speaks about integrating compassion into our daily lives. McCartney, through his music and activism, embodies this message. He reminds us that even in the world of fame and glamour, there is room for kindness, for love, and for making a difference. Isn't that a message we all need today, that no matter who we are, where we come from, or what we do, we can all contribute to making the world a better place? The legacy of Paul McCartney and the Dalai Lama is a powerful one. It's a testament to the fact that compassion and advocacy can come from any corner of the world, whether it be a concert stage or a monastery in the Himalayas. Their relationship inspires us to think about our own lives. Are we using our gifts, our influence, however small, to make a difference? Are we standing up for what is right, even when it's hard? Paul McCartney's friendship with the Dalai Lama challenges us all to do better. To be better, to live with more empathy and love. In a world that often feels divided, the connection between McCartney and the Dalai Lama is a hopeful reminder that unity is possible. It shows us that when we put compassion first, we can break down barriers and build a world that is kinder, fairer, and more just. So, the next time you hear a Beatles song or read about the Dalai Lama, remember the power of their friendship. Remember that, regardless of our differences, we can all choose to come together, with compassion, with love, and with a desire to make a difference. The bond between McCartney and the Dalai Lama is more than a story of two famous individuals, it's a testament to the profound impact of friendship based on shared values. Both of them have walked different paths. One has spent decades on the world stage, performing for millions, while the other has spent his life in contemplation and service, advocating for his people and spreading messages of love and non-violence. Yet, they have managed to find a common purpose, driven by the desire to make the world a better place. This isn't just a friendship, it's a partnership in activism, a union forged in their shared belief that compassion and empathy are the cornerstones of a peaceful society. Paul McCartney has always been a champion of animal rights, and his commitment to vegetarianism is an extension of his deep-seated belief in compassion for all living beings. His dedication to reducing suffering isn't just a personal choice, it's a call to action. Through initiatives like Meat Free Monday, he encourages others to take small steps that can collectively make a huge impact on the environment, animal welfare, and global health. This philosophy of small yet meaningful actions aligns closely with the Dalai Lama's teachings on interdependence. The Dalai Lama often speaks about how our individual actions affect the whole, how, in this interconnected world, even a seemingly small act of kindness can have far-reaching consequences. Together, they inspire us to see the bigger picture and to recognize that our choices, no matter how minor they may seem, contribute to the well-being of the world. The relationship between McCartney and the Dalai Lama has also been characterized by honest, open dialogue, something that is at the core of genuine friendship. When McCartney wrote to the Dalai Lama, questioning his diet, it wasn't an act of judgment but rather an act of compassion. He was simply sharing his perspective, driven by his desire to see less suffering in the world. The Dalai Lama's response, too, was rooted in humility and openness. He didn't dismiss McCartney's concerns but took them to heart, showing a willingness to reconsider his own choices. This exchange is a powerful reminder that even the most revered spiritual leaders are human, capable of listening, learning, and growing. It also shows us that true friends challenge each other, not out of criticism, but out of love and a desire to help each other grow. The Free Tibet movement is another area where McCartney has shown his support for the Dalai Lama and his cause. The plight of the Tibetan people, who have faced decades of oppression and cultural erasure, is a cause that McCartney feels deeply about. He has used his voice, one that has reached millions, to shine a light on the struggles of Tibetans and to call for justice and freedom. McCartney's involvement in the Free Tibet movement is more than just a gesture of solidarity, it's a demonstration of his commitment to standing up for those who have been silenced. He understands the power of influence and uses his platform to advocate for those who cannot speak for themselves. This is the kind of leadership the world needs, one that is rooted in empathy and a sense of responsibility to use one's privilege for the greater good. The Dalai Lama, too, sees the potential in connecting with people from all walks of life, artists, scientists, leaders, to spread his message of compassion and peace. His willingness to engage with McCartney and other influential figures shows his understanding of the power of collaboration. By connecting with artists like McCartney, the Dalai Lama is able to reach a broader audience, people who might not otherwise be exposed to his teachings. It's a beautiful example of how we can use our unique gifts and talents to complement each other in the pursuit of a common goal. Whether it's through a song, a speech, or a simple act of kindness, we all have the ability to contribute to a more compassionate world. What makes the friendship between McCartney and the Dalai Lama truly special is its authenticity. It's not about publicity or grand gestures, it's about two individuals who genuinely care about the world and who want to make a difference. Their relationship is built on mutual respect and a shared belief in the importance of compassion. They are not afraid to speak out on difficult issues, to challenge each other, or to stand up for what they believe in. This kind of authenticity is rare, especially in a world that often prioritizes image over substance. Their friendship reminds us that real change comes from genuine connections, from people who are willing to stand together, to learn from each other, and to work towards a common goal. Paul McCartney's music has always been a reflection of his values. Songs like Blackbird and The Fool on the Hill carry messages of empathy, resilience, and understanding. These themes resonate deeply with the Dalai Lama's teachings on compassion and nonviolence. Music has the power to touch hearts, to bring people together, and to inspire change. McCartney understands this, and he has used his music as a tool for activism, for spreading messages of love and unity. The Dalai Lama, too, understands the power of art, how it can transcend barriers and speak directly to the soul. Together, they show us that art and spirituality are not separate entities but are deeply intertwined. They both have the power to heal, to inspire, and to bring about change. The Dalai Lama often speaks about the importance of inner peace, how true peace in the world can only be achieved if individuals cultivate peace within themselves. This idea resonates with McCartney's own journey. Despite the pressures of fame and the challenges he has faced, McCartney has always sought to maintain a sense of balance and peace in his life. His dedication to meditation, his love for nature, and his commitment to living a compassionate life are all reflections of this. It's a reminder that, no matter who we are or what we do, we all need to take care of our inner selves. Peace begins with each of us, in our hearts, in our homes, and in our communities. The partnership between McCartney and the Dalai Lama is also a reminder of the power of hope. In a world that often feels overwhelming, with its conflicts, injustices, and suffering, it's easy to feel powerless. But McCartney and the Dalai Lama remind us that we are not powerless. We all have the capacity to make a difference, no matter how small. Whether it's through music, through activism, or simply through the way we treat others, we all have the power to contribute to a better world. Their friendship is a beacon of hope, showing us that when we come together with a common purpose, we can create meaningful change. Their relationship also challenges us to think about our own lives. How are we using our talents, our voices, our influence? Are we standing up for what is right, even when it's difficult? Are we treating others with kindness and compassion? Paul McCartney and the Dalai Lama challenge us to do better, to be better. They show us that true greatness lies not in wealth, fame, or power, but in our ability to make a positive impact on the world. They remind us that, at the end of the day, what matters most is how we treat each other, how we care for our planet, and how we contribute to the well-being of all living beings. In a world that often feels divided, the friendship between Paul McCartney and the Dalai Lama is a powerful reminder that unity is possible. It shows us that, despite our differences, we can find common ground. We can come together in the spirit of compassion, empathy, and love. Their friendship is a testament to the idea that, no matter where we come from or what our backgrounds are, we all share a common humanity. And it is this shared humanity that can bring us together, that can help us overcome our differences and work towards a more just and peaceful world. Their story is also a reminder of the importance of standing up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. Whether it's the Tibetan people, animals, or the environment, McCartney and the Dalai Lama have both used their platforms to advocate for the voiceless. They remind us that we all have a responsibility to speak out against injustice, to protect those who are vulnerable, and to work towards a world where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Their activism is a call to action, a reminder that we all have a role to play in creating a better world. The friendship between Paul McCartney and the Dalai Lama is more than just a connection between two well-known individuals. It is a powerful symbol of what can be achieved when people come together in the spirit of compassion and understanding. McCartney's vocal support for the Dalai Lama's efforts to bring about peace and freedom for Tibet, as well as his broader advocacy for kindness toward all living beings, has made a significant contribution to raising awareness about these important issues. Their shared values and mutual respect have inspired many around the world to take action, reminding us all that, regardless of our backgrounds, we have the power to make a difference. In a time when the world is often divided by differences, the relationship between Paul McCartney and the Dalai Lama serves as a hopeful reminder that unity, compassion, and empathy are the keys to creating a better future for everyone. So, the next time you hear a Beatles song or read about the Dalai Lama, remember the power of their friendship. Remember that, regardless of our differences, we can all choose to come together, with compassion, with love, and with a desire to make a difference. Their story is a testament to the fact that, even in a world that often feels divided, there is hope. And that hope lies in our ability to connect, to empathize, and to work together for the greater good. The friendship between Paul McCartney and the Dalai Lama is not just a story of two individuals, it's a story of what is possible when we choose compassion, when we choose love, and when we choose to make a difference. Let it inspire you to do the same. In the grand scheme of things, it's easy to think that our actions don't matter. But McCartney and the Dalai Lama show us that they do. They remind us that every action, no matter how small, contributes to the whole. They show us that change starts with each of us, in the choices we make, in the way we treat others, and in the way we use our influence. So, whether you're a musician, a teacher, a student, or anything else, remember that you have the power to make a difference. Remember that, like Paul McCartney and the Dalai Lama, you can use your gifts, your talents, and your voice to create a better world. And isn't that what it's all about, leaving the world a little better than we found it? The friendship between Paul McCartney and the Dalai Lama is a beautiful reminder that, no matter who we are or where we come from, we all have the capacity for compassion. We all have the ability to make a positive impact on the world. And when we come together, when we combine our talents and our passions for the greater good, there is nothing we cannot achieve. So let their story inspire you. Let it remind you that, in a world that often feels divided, we have the power to come together, with love, with compassion, and with a shared desire to make a difference. The world needs more friendships like that of Paul McCartney and the Dalai Lama, friendships that transcend boundaries, that challenge us to grow, and that inspire us to make a difference. Their bond is a testament to the power of love, empathy, and understanding. It shows us that, despite our differences, we are all connected. And it is this connection that gives us the power to change the world. So let's follow their example. Let's use our gifts, our talents, and our influence to spread love, to promote understanding, and to create a world that is kinder, fairer, and more just. Because, at the end of the day, isn't that what really matters?